Hello everyone, welcome back to ASR, African Stories Realized. This is our weekly review of Nyala O Season 1, episodes 13 to 15. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Let's get into it. Episode 13 continues with a confrontation between Gya and Pretty outside the Maponya home. Pretty demanded that Gya open up the gate as things escalated between the two ladies, with Pretty leaving after Gya threatened to call the police. When Gya returned to the house, Tepi tried to question her mother about when her parents met, but Gya, who was still heated after her confrontation with Pretty, dismissed her daughter before making her way to Rhami's mother's house, where she demanded that Rhami return home with her. Upon returning home, Gya ordered a confused Rhami to sleep on the couch, even though there's a guest room. Meanwhile in Tembisa, Pretty vented to her mother about her confrontation with Gya. However, her mother reprimanded her for thinking with her heart instead of her head, reminding her that Gya and her daughter were married into the Maponya family, basically saying they're official, you're not. Meanwhile, at Ernest and Mapula's place, Mondli interrupted the couple and confided in them, finally conceding that his marriage may be over, as Ernest tried to console him. Mapula then reported to Gya that they were consoling Mondli all night. However, the discussion quickly moved to Gya and Rhami's marriage, as Mapula confronted her sister for letting Rhami back in the house and forgiving him too easily, but Gya insisted that she did not want to discuss her marriage. Mapula then went to work, where her disgruntled client once again demanded that she pay him the money he's owed. Meanwhile, Mondli returned home, where Lerato laid down the law, allowing Mondli to stay until their divorce was final, but revealing that she had moved his things out of their bedroom and was no longer obligated to cook for him. The following morning, Rhami was a busy father as he dropped Tepi off at school. However, to Rhami's confusion, she was giving him the cold shoulder. Rhami then picked up Lerato and Warna from school and dropped them off in Tembisa, but they were also giving him the silent treatment. Rhami questioned Warna, who confronted him for calling her and her brother mistakes. He apologized and made up with his daughter. However, Rhami was not happy with Pretty after she revealed that she went to his home and confronted Gya. The episode ends with Rhami warning Pretty not to disrespect him as he questioned her sanity. Episode 14 picks up at Gya's office, where Rhami arrived trying to apologize for Pretty's actions. He informed her that he told Pretty never to come to their house again, but Gya was more irritated by the mention of Rhami's mistress in her office, as she berated him before they returned home, where Gya once again confronted Rhami, questioning why he kept going back to Pretty. Rhami once again apologized and tried to reassure his wife that he only wants to be with her. Gya then went to work, where she received a call from her father, who is revealed to be a pastor. He informed his daughter that he had returned to attend to his church and congregation. However, Gya avoided telling him about what she was going through with Rhami, pretending everything was okay. Meanwhile, Mapula and David were under pressure to pay back the RAF money they stole from her client, as she desperately tried to secure a 1.2 million rand loan to cover the balance. Meanwhile, at Lerato and Mondli's place, Mondli consulted with a spiritual advisor, who actually suggested that Mondli should move out of the house, but Mondli refused, with the spiritual advisor ultimately performing a ritual in the house, marking the walls with crosses, which Lerato was not happy about. She accused Mondli of trying to bewitch her and refused to spend the night in the house. Meanwhile in Tembisa, Pretty kept trying to reach out to Rhami, who had seemingly blocked her number again. Behind her back, Lerato reached out to Tepi on social media and already told the excited Warona about their sister, as he showed her pictures on his phone. Back at the Maponya home, Tepi was coming to grips with the fact that her father has another family and siblings she didn't know about. When they later sat down for dinner, an overwhelmed Tepi confronted her parents. The episode ends with her questioning who Lerato is and why they hadn't told her about him. I totally love the end of this episode. Tepi definitely has a mother's temper. Great acting, great scene. Episode 15 picks up with Rhami apologizing to Tepi and filling her in about her siblings in Tembisa. He also pleaded with her not to hold it against her mother, who was eavesdropping on their conversation. Meanwhile in Tembisa, Lerato and Warna were giving their mother the silent treatment, sending Pretty on a warpath, which culminated with her arguing with her mother, who was just trying to advise her about Rhami. It seemed like there's some kind of grudge between Pretty and her mother, and it basically revolves around how Pretty was raised, and she's basically, I guess, trying to break a cycle, because they did mention before that Pretty's mother might have previously also been like a mistress or a small house. Meanwhile, Mondli arrived at Mapula's place where Lerato had sought refuge. Ernest then revealed that he had invited Mondli over as he proceeded to mediate between the couple. Lerato once again reiterated a desire for Mondli to sign the divorce papers and move out. However, Mondli insisted that if they get a divorce, he wants half of everything as they continued to argue until Ernest and Mapula intervened. Mondli and Ernest later joined up with Rhami to play some football, and the gents confronted Mondli for trying to take half of Lerato's money in the divorce. Mondli insisted that he invested a lot in his wife, but Ernest reminded him that she didn't force him to do those things for her, warning him that things could get messy if he makes a claim to Lerato's fortune. Mondli was still defiant and requested that Ernest represent him in the divorce proceedings, but Ernest refused to get involved, advising his friend to accept defeat. Also, wouldn't it be a conflict of interest with Mapula representing Lerato? I don't know the rules about spouses facing each other in court, but I think that would be a conflict of interest. It's just hard to be biased. That's what the law is for. It's to eliminate and try to eliminate every bias from the proceedings. So I don't think that would work, because Mapula is definitely already representing Lerato. Upon returning home, Mondli found Lerato and her spiritual advisor cleansing the home as the couple resumed their argument. They both declared that they weren't going anywhere. At Mapula's office, her and David were beginning to feel the heat from the disgruntled client, who once again threatened to report them. David, who previously pushed for them to take half of their client's claims, was shaking in his boots as he read the Contingency Fees Act, which stipulated that you can't charge more than 25% for a claim. This is the information that Mapula's client was using to blackmail them. Somehow, they were able to come up with the money and pay the client back, but he berated them for taking advantage of road accident victims and warned them that it was easy for him to obtain the information that he used to blackmail them. Back at the Maponya home, Kia was preparing for an interview to promote her new book. Rhami arrived shortly before the interviewer, who invited him to join them for the interview. The couple had a wonderful interview, with the interviewer not even picking up the tension between them. After the interview, Rhami questioned if Kia was going to tell her father about his infidelity. Kia once again scolded him, but the episode ends with her inviting Rhami back into their marital bed. We did speculate that Kia might have too much invested in the marriage to walk away, and this week came with the added pressure of her father, Pitikwe, which was also revealed to be the name of Mapula's son. This also means that Kia's family don't know about Rhami yet, but I don't know how they can keep it from the rest of the family when Mapula and Tepi already know. What are your thoughts on Mondli requesting half of Lerato's fortune? That was an interesting angle that the show took. I like the rap storyline, and I expect more consequences for Mapula and her accomplice. A lot of clients might come back to her after, or if they find out after that they were cheated, they might also start coming to claim, or Livwani might continue blackmailing them and threatening to report them. That's why you don't pay blackmailers, because if you pay them, they keep coming back. Once they finish that money, they keep coming back. I do wish the scam was something a bit more scandalous, but the show has established that Ernest has strong morality, so maybe it is scandalous enough for their relationship, like to drive a wedge between the couple. And that's why initially I speculated that she might be cheating, because that was way more scandalous than just this rap scam. But I do think this storyline is more relevant than if it was just a random cheating thing. Other than finances and the scamming, it seems like Ernest and Mapula have a good marriage. And I do have to also mention all the actors, the chemistry between them. You can tell there's a lot of mutual respect and that they're all comfortable with each other and the way they play off each other. Like, I really like it. You can also tell there's a bit of improvisation. They throw in their own little improv on the scenes. So I really like this group, this cast. It's a very strong cast, a very experienced cast, and even the youngest, Tepi, Letabo, Warona, they're also playing their part. I really love how comfortable everyone is with each other, and that usually comes from mutual respect. So big up to the cast. They didn't confirm where the money that Mapula paid her client with came from, so the execution there was a bit lacking. It could have been a bit cleaner. And I think they also should have continued following Tepi in the aftermath of the revelation, since that was the focus of the first 2 episodes. But otherwise, it was sort of a light week. I can't complain, but also I can't really say it was like one of the strongest weeks. You know, it was a bit filler. Not quite filler, but almost filler. But it was still a solid installment. I think we're going to go up to 45 episodes, so Some of the episodes are going to be a bit watered down. I would like for the pace to pick up a bit more, or if it can reflect the pace at the beginning of the season in those first 6 episodes. So I think we need to get back to that momentum. Nyala O Season 1 is airing on Mzansi Magic every Monday to Wednesday, and episodes are available on DStv Stream. Feel free to leave your review and your feelings about the show in the comment section. I'll do my best to get the next review out as soon as possible. Thank you for watching. We'll be back next week with another review. Don't forget to like and subscribe. This is ASR for the love of African filmmaking and storytelling.